I'm Gazanfar and today we will discuss about the optical isomerism in such compounds that does not contain any chiral center or asymmetrical center, but they are optically active due to the absence of the plane of symmetry or center of symmetry, and they are optically active due to the presence of axial chirality. So these are the three classes that are the substituted biphenyls, allenes, and spirenes or spiro compounds that show optical activity. However, they do not contain any chiral center or any asymmetrical center. In case of allenes, they are called cumulated dienes. They are called cumulated dienes, carbon double bond, carbon double bond, carbon. So first case is of allenes. So allenes are such compound that does not contain any chiral center, but they are optically active due to the absence of plane of symmetry and the presence of axial chirality. So this is the structure of alene. So in case of alene, we can see that the two pi bonds are perpendicular to so in alanines, this carbon is sp2 hybridized carbon, this carbon is sp hybridized carbon, and this carbon is sp2 hybridized carbon. And so it also have a pz orbital. So there is a parallel overlapping takes place between these two loops. Parallel overlapping takes place between two loops, and head-to-head overlapping takes place in these loops. So there is a one sigma bond formed here, sigma bond here, and two pi bonds are formed that are perpendicular to each other. Both the pi bonds are perpendicular to each other. So this is the structure of alanines. Why the alanines show optical activity? However, they do not contain any chiral center. So there are two conditions. First is that the alanines contain even number of double bonds. Even number of double bonds, and at carbon number 1 and carbon number 3, that are the terminal carbons, different groups are attached at terminal carbons. Different groups are attached at terminal carbon. Then the alanines show optical activity due to the absence of plane of symmetry, due to the absence of center of symmetry, and due to the presence of axial chirality. Due to the presence of axial chirality. If there are odd number of double bonds present, then our alanines becomes optically inactive due to the presence of plane of symmetry. And if the different groups are attached at terminal carbons and the alanines contain odd number of double bonds, then our alanine is optically inactive due to the presence of plane of symmetry, but it shows geometric isomerism. It does not show optical isomerism, but show geometric isomerism if it contains odd number of double bonds. If similar groups are attached at these positions, then there is a plane of symmetry present in this molecule, and the alanines becomes optically inactive. So two conditions. If two conditions are present, that different groups are attached at the terminal carbons, and different groups are attached at the terminal carbon, then even number of double bonds are present in alanines, then they show optical activity. If there is odd number of double bonds present and two different groups are attached at the terminal carbons, then they show geometric isomerism, but not the optical isomerism. How they show optical isomerism? So this is a structure of alanine. C6H5 here. This is a alanine in which at terminal carbons two different groups are attached. These two groups are present in this vertical plane, while these two groups are present in the horizontal plane, and these two pi bonds are also perpendicular to each other. So when I pass an axis through this plane, this phenyl group is divided into two parts, this hydrogen is divided into two parts, these pi bonds are cut it symmetrically, but when the axis pass through this plane, because these two groups are present in this horizontal plane, there is a hydrogen here and a phenyl group here, and we pass axis through this plane. So two different groups are present at this terminal carbon, this phenyl group that is out of the plane and the hydrogen is into the plane, and it is cut into two parts that are not mirror images of each other. So we can say that there is no plane of symmetry present here due to the presence of two different groups, and they do not cut into two equal parts, and there is also no center of symmetry present. That's why they are optically inactive. Now I pass a plane, now I pass an axis through this plane. These two groups are present in this plane and these two groups are present in the horizontal plane. So in first case we pass a plane in this axis, now we pass a plane in this axis. When I pass a plane in this manner, then we can see that these two groups are present in this plane, and I pass an axis through this plane, so they are cut into two parts. They are cut into two parts, but there is a phenyl group on one side and the hydrogen on the other side. They are not mirror image of each other, and there is these pi bonds are cut symmetrically, and these two groups that are present at this terminal carbon are present in this plane, like phenyl group in this plane and hydrogen in this plane, and we pass an axis through this plane. So these two groups are cut symmetrically. So there is a plane of symmetry present at this terminal carbon, but there is no plane of symmetry at present at this carbon, because these groups are present in this vertical plane, and we pass an axis through this plane. So these are cut in this way, like this, and carbon that is bonded to hydrogen. So they are not mirror image of each other. So there is no plane of symmetry present, no center of symmetry present, and they show optical activity. And they show optical activity, optical isomerism. And second factor that makes the alene optically active is the axial chirality. What is axial chirality or chirality axis? What is axial chirality or chirality axis? An axis about which the non-planar rearrangement of the groups results in a stereoisomer that is non-superimposable on its mirror image is called axial chirality or chiral axis. What is a chiral axis? Chiral axis is an axis about which non-planar rearrangement of groups results in a stereoisomer, results in a stereoisomer that is non superimposable on its mirror image. Such axis is called chiral axis, an axis about which the non-planar rearrangement of the groups results in a stereoisomer that is non-superimposable and mirror image of the original stereoisomer. And we know that these two are the properties of enantiomers, and enantiomers are optically active compounds. Now we see the chiral axis in alanines. There is a carbon, double bond carbon, double bond carbon. So there is a chiral axis present here. This axis is called chiral axis, about which the non-planar rearrangement of these groups results in a stereoisomer that is non-superimposable on its mirror image. But the alanines show optical isomerism only when there is even number of double bonds present and two different groups are attached at the terminal carbon. In this molecule we can see that two different groups are attached at this terminal carbon and two different groups are attached at this terminal carbon. So they show optical activity. And if I place a mirror here, then we will see that now we see that when we pass a chiral axis through this plane, then there is axial chirality present, and we get a non-superimposable mirror image of this molecule, and they are non-superimposable mirror images of each other, so we call they are enantiomers of each other. They are enantiomers of each other, and we know that enantiomers are optically active compounds. Optically active compounds have the ability to rotate the plane polarized light. So this is all about the optical isomerism in alanines. So when we attach bulky groups at the ortho position, then this ring is oriented perpendicular to the now these two rings are perpendicular to each other, and I attach bulky groups at ortho position. Now these two rings are perpendicular to each other. This ring is present in this plane and this ring is present in this plane, and the bulky groups are attached at the ortho position. So due to the static repulsion, to minimize the static repulsion, this ring oriented in this plane and this ring is present in this plane. So these rings are perpendicular to each other. Like this ring is present in this plane and this ring is present in the horizontal plane. This is present in the vertical plane. So if I pass a plane through this if I pass axis through this plane, so this ring is cut into two equal parts, and nitro group into two equal parts, carboxylic group into two equal parts, and this ring into two equal parts. But this ring is present in this plane, this ring is present in this plane, and there is a nitro group out of the plane, and the carboxylic group into the plane. And when I pass axis through this plane, it is not cut into two equal parts, because when I pass a plane through this axis, there is a nitro group that is out of the plane, and carboxylic group are present into the plane. It is cut into two parts that are not mirror images of each other, because different groups are present at the ortho position. So there is no plane of symmetry present here. No plane of symmetry present here, no center of symmetry present. Now, if I pass a plane through this axis, then this ring is cut in this way. This ring is present in this plane, and I cut in this plane. This ring is present in this plane. Nitro group present here, carboxylic group present here. I pass axis through this plane. So there is a nitro group on one side, carboxylic group on the other side. So they are not cut into two equal parts, because there are two different groups are attached at the ortho position. But this ring is present in this plane, and there is a nitro group here and carboxylic group here, and I pass axis through this plane. So they are cut into two equal parts. So there is a plane of symmetry present in this ring, but there is no plane of symmetry present in this ring. So due to the absence of the plane of symmetry, or center of symmetry, the substituted biphenyl, in which the bulky groups are attached at the ortho position, is optically active. Secondly, there is a chiral axis present here. This axis is chiral axis. There is a chiral axis present here, and in the axis about which the non-planar rearrangement of these groups results in a stereoisomer that is non-superimposable on its mirror image. So this substituted biphenyl is also optically active due to the presence of the chiral axis. If I place a mirror here, then we will get mirror image and non-superimposable mirror image of this molecule like this. Now we can see the images of each other, so they are enantiomers of each other due to the axial chirality. So they are optically active compounds. And last case is of spiro compounds. In case of spiro compounds, the two rings are bonded with each other. Through a single atom. These two rings are connected through a single atom. The part of the ring that is represented by this wedge bond, is out of the plane, and it is into the plane. This ring is present in this plane, and this is present in this horizontal plane. So they are perpendicular to each other. So this is a spiro compound or spirane, and there is no optically active carbon present in this molecule. We can see that, but they are optically active. Why they are optically active? They are optically active only when there is even number of rings are present, even number of rings are present. And second is the different groups are attached at these terminal carbons. Different groups are attached. Different groups attached at terminal carbons. If similar groups are attached at the terminal carbons and odd number of rings are present, then they becomes optically inactive due to the presence of the plane of symmetry. So two conditions. One is the even number of rings, and second is the different groups attached at the terminal carbon, then they are optically active due to the absence of the plane of symmetry. See that this ring is present perpendicular to this ring, like this, and there is a hydrogen here and the chlorine here, and I pass a axis through this plane. So it is cut into two parts that are not mirror images of each other because two different groups are present at the terminal carbons. So there is no plane of symmetry present in this molecule, no plane of symmetry, no center of symmetry present, so they are optically active because they are asymmetrical. Molecules. Now if I pass a plane through this axis, firstly we pass a plane in this manner, now we pass a plane in this manner. This ring is present in this plane, and there is a chlorine here, hydrogen, and I pass an axis through this plane. So this ring is cut into two parts, but there is a chlorine present here, hydrogen present here. So there is chlorine on one side and hydrogen on the other side. So they are not cut into two equal parts. Similarly, this ring is present in this plane, and I pass an axis through this plane. So there is a hydrogen here, chlorine here, and I pass an axis through this plane. So it cuts into two parts. It cuts into two equal parts because there is a hydrogen here, chlorine here, and this ring is present in this plane, and I pass an axis through this plane. So it is cut into hydrogen cut into two equal parts, chlorine cut into two equal parts. So there is a plane of symmetry present in this ring, but there is no plane of symmetry present in this ring. So overall, there is no plane of symmetry. So this spidane is optically active due to the presence of even number of rings and due to the different groups are attached at the terminal carbons. Secondly, there is also a chiral axis present here. Chiral axis present here. If I place a mirror here, then we get mirror image of this molecule. Like now we can see that they are non-superimposable mirror images of each other. So it's due to the presence of axial chirality. So they are enantiomers of each other, and we know that enantiomers are optically active compounds. So they are optically active compounds. However, they does not contain any chiral carbon. Optically active compounds. So this is all about the optical isomerism in such compounds that are without any asymmetrical carbon or chiral